the sign Auschwitz. So finally we got out of the cattle cars and we had to get in line there. They were standing there with guns and with the dogs. And a man, we had to go one by one. A man, we found out later that it was Dr. Mengele. He looked at us and he pointed his finger to the left or to the right. So we didn't know what it meant then. But later on we knew if he points his finger to the left that it was a gas chambers, and if he pointed his finger to the right, if you looked like you was young and you was able to work, he pointed to the right. But if you was a little old, a little sickly looking or weak looking, that was the end. He pointed to the left. Later on we found out what it meant. So we had to go into a delousing station. We had to take everything off. We had to be naked there. Our heads were shaved, our hair all over, we were shaved. And that was in October. They gave me like a men's undershirt to wear. That's all I had, a short men's undershirt. And when we couldn't look at each other, we had no mirror or anything, but when we saw like a shadow, we couldn't recognize ourselves anymore, because without hair, you wouldn't believe it, what a difference it made. And when we came from Berlin in the transport, we got numbers. And my number was 171, 8,936. I will never forget that number, because that stayed with me till the end, the number. We were only numbers, we had no names. Then after we were deloused and shaved and got the undershirt, short sleeve men's undershirt, it was cold in October and it was muddy. You was up to your knees standing in the mud. In Auschwitz were all barracks. We had to march, and we came to the gypsy barracks. They were like open horse stables, open on both sides, and that's where they put us in. And they were just wooden boards there, like bunk beds, but wooden boards where 10 people were together on one board. So we had to stand upheld outside for hours, a couple of times a day, 3-4 hours. We had to stand outside in the mud, in the cold, to be counted. And everything was surrounded by electric wire. And once a day, they got you together to march to the latrines. That was one board with holes in it, and the SS with the guns in the back was standing there behind you. Hurry up, hurry up. They were standing, you had to hurry up. That was once a day. They marched you there. Then one day, that I will never forget, one of the women from our transport went into the middle of the barrack, and started singing. And we were all sitting there on the boards, on the wooden boards, and we heard her sing. And after that, she went out and touched the electric wire and killed herself. So we had very little food in Auschwitz. We mostly were standing appeal, and the SS, they were very young guys, maybe 18 years old, and they hit you and they ordered you around. And I was there for 3 or 4 weeks in Auschwitz. And we saw, day and night, we saw a chimney with smoke going, and we thought it was a factory where people work. But we found out that this was a gas chamber, and the smoke was continuous. Day and night we saw the smoke from the gas chambers. We heard that people go in there, and to be gassed, the ones that went on the other side. So in October